So this is the 30-minute challenge. How I read 30 books in 30 minutes. And I do this because, as you probably know, I read a book a day. And I do this to increase the stimulus or the cognitive ability of my brain, right? Reading multiple books in a short amount of time and still gaining something from it definitely challenges your brain and pushes it to another level. So that's why I do it. And for you all who don't know me, my name is Najee Owens, and I'm an investor and a mentor. I'm also an avid book reader, and I believe also one day I'll become the greatest American to ever live, right? But it's not because of me, it's because of these greats that I've read, right? If I go on to be the greatest American of all time, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So that's why I read so much, and more importantly, why I do the 30-minute challenge, which is where I read 30 books in 30 minutes. And so again, I'm Najee Owens, and if you stay to the end, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'll give you a little bonus for staying to the end, and ultimately show you or let you know how I read 30 books in 30 minutes. So let's get right into it. I'm also going to be giving some commentary too. So, comment below if you learned something, or if I add some value to you. Subscribe to the channel. It encourages me to do more videos like this, and it also helps support the journey. I would recommend all of these books. They're all great, depending on where you're at in your life. You might need Sam Walton or the Dictionary of Real Estate Terms. So I definitely recommend all of these books. All right, how you read 30 books in 30 minutes. Let's get to it. And I got the timer there so that you can check me out. And also, hold up. Before we start, let's reset that. Before we start, let's count the books. I want you to make sure that I have 30 books. All right, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I got 30 books there. All right. I'm going to set my 1-minute timer here so that I know when to go to the next book. So I only spend about 1 minute on each book. Let's do it. And I'm starting off with The Richest Man in Babylon. If I can grab the book. Oh, this is dope. So, The Richest Man in Babylon. I go to How to Make a Man Rich, and it says, as a man perfecteth himself in his calling or what he does. Oh, next book. As a man perfecteth himself in what he does and his ability, and he increases his ability to earn also increases. So it says, the more wisdom that we know, the more we may earn. Warren Buffett quote. All right, Genghis Khan, 30 seconds. So Genghis Khan, one of the dopest things I get from him is he ran in his tribe, he ran an ideal meritocracy, meaning that each warrior can go as high up as they wanted to in the rank based off their skill set or their level. Genghis Khan, ideal meritocracy. See, I slide books like this in this little 30-minute challenge, quotes of wit and wisdom, right? So not a real book. It's just something full of quotes so I can catch up on my time here. And let me see, what's a good quote? Something new. Let me get a new quote. One of my newer ones. I like this. This is the newest. To be great is to be misunderstood. Earl Nightingale. Okay. Lao Tzu says the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Next level. All right, so I'm gonna grab some extra time on this one. Dictionary of real estate terms. Matter of fact, you take this book, sit it here, don't even read it, keep the clock going, move on to the next book, and you can use that as a catch-up whenever you like get far behind a deep book that you like. All right, Sam Walton, Made in America. Sam Walton, Made in America. Everybody loves shooting at who's on top. John Wooden, the great college basketball coach. This is about me. So John Wooden says that he's a realistic optimist, and he believes one of his strengths is, or no, let me say this. I believe that one of my strengths is my ability to keep negative thoughts out. Come on, let's keep going. How to Win in Sports and Business by Mark Cuban, the great shark from Shark Tank. I like Mark Cuban because he's a realist too, similar to John Wooden. He said, recognize that it's okay to live like a student before you become extremely successful. When you're starting out in success, you don't gotta fake it like you making it. You know, you don't gotta buy all the fancy things. He said, remember this, the cheaper you can live, the greater your options. Let's go, next book. The power of habit. Oh, I like this one. Oh, yeah, I like this. Is going to be a good one. All right, so they talk about changing a habit, right? So let's say you want to lose some weight and you want to start running in the morning uh, before you get ready for the day, right? When you want to change a habit, you have to change the cue. And I know you're probably like, what's the cue? But you got to do the research, right? But when you have a habit, you want to change the cue. And the cue is the thing that prompts you to do something. So let's say you want to lose weight and you want to run in the morning. What you would do is you would take your shoes and put them next to your bed. So as soon as you get out of the bed, you put your shoes on and obviously your workout clothes and go brush your teeth, but then you're gonna go run because you already have the shoes on, right? So a lot of people don't know how to change habits. That's dope. All right, and then it says this: the cue, in addition to triggering a routine, must also trigger a craving for the reward to come. I'll let you sit on that one. All right, we're gonna use we're not done. Let's keep going. 13 minutes, the happiness project. Hey, this is not easy. How am I doing on time? Reading 30 books in 30 minutes? And talking to y'all? Crazy. Boom. One of the best ways to make yourself happy is to make other people happy. This is the Happiness Project. This is pretty dope. She took 1 full year to focus just on being happy, and every single month she focused on a different piece of her happiness. I could drop the book off that. Let's go next. The Spirit to Serve Marriott's Way. Boom. Change as well. The Spirit to Serve Marriott's Way. This was the original founder of Marriott Hotels. This was his son, so second generation, and he's nice too. He's nice. He built Marriott to what we know it today. And he said, you can lead change, or change can lead you. Always change. One of my favorite quotes. Change the way you think, you change the way you live. Take 30 minutes out your day to read 30 books. It's light. Let's go. How to Be Calm. I took this book and put $2 bills in it and sent it out to a lot of very important people in my circle. And then also people that I wanted to get to know. Boom. A great way to change your mind about problems is to find a positive within that negative. That part. Oh, I like this one. 100 African Americans Who Shaped History. It's a pretty dope book. Dope. All right, I'm gonna go to, boom. First, look at that. I use money as bookmarks. 5. Walter F. Wright. He was the executive secretary for the NAACP around when it was first founded. And he was also part of Moore versus Dempsey, which was a ruling that allowed farmers to move out of the sharecropping accounting system, which kept African Americans at that time poor by design. So he was part of that movement or that case that removed that. That's deep. I didn't know that, and I didn't know that. That's deep. All right, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, one of my top 5. All right, boom, best quote. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Pretty fine. This is a good book, though. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. See, I know y'all probably want book summaries, but I'm not even going to give you book summaries. You got to do the work and come get the book. You got to do the work and buy the book. Okay, boom. So Napoleon Hill is such a great thinker, arguably one of the top ever. And he says that he actually had a real conversation with the devil, right? And it wasn't like no religious thing like that. It was more of he wanted to understand how positive energy, which in this book he's going to relate to God, and how negative energy in this world, which he's going to relate to the devil. So remove the word devil and say outwitting negative energy, right? So he says to the devil, what is your greatest, here's the question. He was wondering, how does he control human minds? And the response from the so-called devil is, my greatest weapon is poverty. I deliberately discourage people from accumulating wealth because poverty discourages men from thinking and makes them easy to prey on for him. So keep people poor because it discourages them to think. Stop it, man. You comment below, write that down. Like, somebody, I gotta go back and watch this myself. That was, yeah. Okay, next book, Goal Setting Till Now. So you're watching this video. If you made it this far, I'm encouraging you to stay to the end because you're still gonna learn at least another 15, 20 books. And if you also can tell yourself, yes, this is knowledge, I'd rather watch a video on YouTube that's talking about books than a video of people shaking their rumps. And if you can do that, Gary Keller in The One Thing says that if you can make yourself do the hard things when you know that they're good, you're training your mind how to think. how to connect one goal with the next over time until you know that the most important thing that you must do right now will get you to your long-term goals. You're ultimately learning how to think big by going small. Yo, crazy. Got 19 minutes. Organize tomorrow today. One of my top 10. I'm just gonna hit y'all with this. Time maximization. Time management is managing the amount of time that you have and doing the best you can with it. Time maximization is teaching you how to create more time. And it says like this: time maximization is very different. It is the search for both efficiency and productivity, but also the act of prioritization at the same time. Meaning, what's the one most important thing that you need to do? Like Gary Keller says, what's the one most important thing you need to do to maximize your time? Next level. U squared. I'll just read the title. U squared implies an explosive jump in your personal performance that puts you far beyond the next logical step. That part. Success Habits by Napoleon Hill. Another great book. I'm just gonna do this. Proven principles for greater wealth, health, and happiness. Though that's 3 of them, but my 4 pillars to the good life are health, wealth, success, and happiness. I mean, it made the front of a great book. All right, The Magic of Thinking Big. Ten minutes left. Oh, I gotta turn up. I ain't had too much on that, but that's a dope book too, though. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Gotta get a move on it. Still only got 10 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm doing good. 10 minutes, 10 books. Let's get it. This is the wrong Dr. Seuss. Yeah, this is the wrong Dr. Seuss, but I'll read a Dr. Seuss poem now. The more things that you learn, the more places you'll go. No. All right, let me get it. That's not it. Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, the more things that you know, quote. This is still reading, by the way. Let me try to say I didn't read 30 books because I used a quote. All right, Dr. Seuss. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Just in time. Timer just went off. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I'll just give you these. All warfare is based on deception. The greatest victory in a war is a battle never fought. Yeah, that part. Buying and selling real estate apartment buildings. I could have wrote one of these. Probably still will. The 1 minute assessment. Oh, this is dope. It talks about the 2% rule. I actually talked about this in the perfect acquisition strategy. I also talk about this in the perfect acquisition strategy. Divide gross income by 2. That results in an estimate of your NOI. And then you calculate the cap rate. Real estate stuff. This is the right Dr. Seuss book. So Dr. Seuss was a very Dr. Seuss was a very high in demand man. And his first book deal with Random House wasn't so good. It was a failure, right? He didn't make a lot of money. But his second one may end up being a really good deal. That's what I learned from that book. The Art of Happiness. I got like one special page in this book. So the first step to seeking happiness is learning. We first have to learn how negative emotions and behavior are harmful to us and how positive emotions are helpful. Now, I hope you're paying attention. That's at least the third or fourth time that we talked about positive versus negative energy or positive versus negative emotions. You got to get that under control, I guarantee you, if you want to be successful. Power Economics, let's get it. Power Economics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Pretty smart guy. African American too. What is America's weakness? Education or politics? That's a good question. What do you think? Comment below. Here's my little quote. To educate or not to educate? That is the answer. Whew. That boy cool. Yo, run this video back. This boy, man, stop it. Never confuse education with intelligence. I have 3 degrees. But just because I got degrees doesn't mean that I'm intelligent, right? I may be educated by conventional wisdom, but intelligent or intellect comes from this, reading and learning from others. Dope. 3 minutes, 4 books, let's go. I can do it. So the first thing that you should go for when you're marketing, trying to get 1 million followers, according to Brandon Kane, is first you want to, whenever you post videos, you want to also have pay advertising with it. That's the new way of going viral, right? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, they want you to pay them. YouTube. And he said the first thing that you want to do is spend money for video views. And then the second thing that you want to do is how to make variations of that same video. So I'll take this video and make 10 different variations of it. And then once you do that, third thing you want to do is figure out how to track it and come up with a strategy to get 1 million followers. The Accountant Story by Pablo Picasso's brother. I'll just give you I'm gonna do a quick read. Dope. The Hiltons. %80 of the hotels went bankrupt back in the Great Depression. Conrad Hilton was one of the rare only hotel owners still around. Great book. Oh. And last minute, I made it. 30 books in 30 minutes. Stop playing with me. We up next. 50 seconds, let's go. That boy nice. Did you see that? I read like 5 pages in that 1 minute. I had to show y'all that one day, how to quick read. So that's how you read 30 books in 30 minutes. And for you all that stay to the end, I have the secret for you. So, how do you read 30 books in 30 minutes? 2 things. 1, get yourself a 1 minute timer, and every book that you read, only read for 1 minute, right? Go on to the next. It keeps you on pace, right? You see how I made it all the way to 30. Some I read for 1.5 minutes, some only read for 30 seconds, right? So that's step 1, get yourself a timer. That's easy, anyone can do that. But the secret sauce is, when you read these books, on the front page, take notes while you read, right? Write the page number, maybe the first time that you go through the book. And then go through the book the second time and go to just those pages, right? You don't have to read the whole book now. There's, in John Pierpont Morgan's book, there's 700 pages. If I read this book once, I would have to read 700 pages. And then if I read it twice, I would have to read another 700 pages. Unless, what I call speed reading. You learn how to speed read and you write the numbers, the page number, of pages of where they had gold nuggets or stories or anything that was important to you. And the first go around, you read it, you write the numbers. Then the second time you go back and read the book and you only go to those pages, and then maybe you write what stuck out to you on that page, right? And then the third time you go back, you can then read all of these knowing the titles, right? So maybe you only pick out the titles that are important, like, oh yeah, I like that part, or I want to hear that story again about how John Pierpont Morgan took over all of the railroads and created the first monopoly in the United States, right? And then when you go back and if it's one that you really like, then you circle that number, right? And then the fourth time you go back and read it, you can pick from the circles and only read a few of those, right? And then you get it. So how I'm able to read 30 books in 30 minutes or one book in a minute is by, when I'm reading, I'm not just reading books, I'm actually studying them, right? And I mean, I can go on and on about John Pierpont Morgan or J.P. Morgan and his book and his life and his history and how he became the greatest financier, how he actually bailed out the United States of America, not once, but twice. And, a bunch of stuff. But it's no different than someone telling you about their favorite movie or what some actor did or a role that they played, being able to recite the words verbatim. You weren't even in the movie. How you know that person lines? Now, he got paid money to remember those lines and act it out, but you didn't get paid. But you can get paid if you look at books similar to the way some people look at movies and revisit them, read them over time. So that's the secret of how you read 30 books in 30 minutes.